I'm Lauren Feldman. I'm the small business editor of the Times. A little more than a year ago, we started the small business blog, You're the Boss. And we did it with one specific thing in mind, which was that we wanted to bring you the voices of small business owners who really know what it's like to own and operate a company, who really know what it's like to be there in the trenches. I'm going to introduce you to these gentlemen, two of our bloggers.
My business is heavily tied to construction projects and business expansion, and clearly the 2008-2009 period really wasn't a great market for that. So we had been quite busy up to 2008 servicing mainly New York clients, doing big conference room projects for large law firms, for banks, for investment firms, and that just flatlined in 2008. I had to lay off half my staff. I had to cut salaries. I entered into a permanent fight with my partner, and the next 2 years were pretty desperate, pretty difficult. I found myself having to suddenly become competent at things that I had been able to avoid having to be good at, particularly finance, cash flow, the difficult HR problems of laying people off, telling people they can no longer work for you, and also trying to shift directions in marketing from a product segment that had suddenly completely died and try to find where there was still business in this country, who was still in the face of this terrible recession, who was still springing for really big fancy conference tables. Orders started to come in March, and so we've been in a better position in the past 6 months than we have been for many, many years. So I was all set to write about failing. I can't deliver, I'm sorry.
Actually, Paul's a very good writer, and whatever he's going through, the insight he brings to it, I think, is very valuable to the blog.
Entrepreneurship's been hyped up a lot. I think entrepreneurship is great. I think that the failure rate is way higher than it needs to be. And I've just learned that it's about what you learn in school or what you're supposed to learn in school. It's about marketing, management, finance. It's about being good at all three of those things, because what I've learned from talking to entrepreneurs and observing entrepreneurs is most people are really good at one, maybe even gifted at the one, and they're pretty good at the second one, and the third one they throw, oh, I'm not good with numbers. Or, oh, I don't get that marketing stuff. And I'm here to tell you, if you're in business, if you want to succeed in business, you better get good at it, at least good enough. Because to be successful, you have to be really good at one, good at the second, and competent at the third. But you cannot afford the luxury of being in business and having a third piece that you just don't want to deal with. And that's why the failure rates are high.
He's a manufacturer, he's a retailer, and he's a distributor.
That's another buzzword that's out there, like, oh, you got to do networking. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Depends on your business. As a retailer, you don't do a lot of networking. As I evolved into, I own Chicago Art Stores, we go out and sell corporate art. I had to completely change my brain to understand this is not retail. I just can't open up and expect customers to come to me. So now I have had to hire people who are very good at it, and I would say in that business, it's critical. In the retail side of things, don't do it at all. So it really depends on the business you're in. It's not a one-size-fits-all strategy.
Networking is something that if you had to grade me, I'd probably get an F minus, because it's, first of all, I'm not wired necessarily to be super gregarious. Second of all, it's not, well, I can put on a show, okay? But I'm not, if there's a cocktail party, I'm over in the corner. And it's also not that relevant to my product.
First of all, hiring is part art and part science, and there's some people that are bad at it, and I will tell you the occupational hazard of being an entrepreneur is the entrepreneur is frequently the worst person to be hiring for the very same reasons that they're an entrepreneur. Think about it. They're really passionate about their business, so what do you think they do during the interview? They talk about their business. Not a good interview technique. Two, they're optimists, probably. Tired of being bad. When you're interviewing, guilty until proven innocent. I mean, you have to be more, you have to really listen, and entrepreneurs are, oh yeah, he's a nice guy, I'll hire him, and thirdly, they're in a hurry. So the first question is, I'm not sure you should be the one doing the interviewing. Perhaps you should outsource that to a professional. I think that luck is a component, but I think that if you did open up in a wrong location and you didn't get lucky, then you move the business. I think that one of the keys to entrepreneurship is fixing things.
Fortune favors a prepared mind. The first word is fortune. There's definitely luck. Luck is there. Karma is there. It favors a prepared mind. You have to be ready. You can be lucky, and if you're an idiot, it won't do you much good. You can be really smart, and if you're unlucky, it won't do you much good either. And I've seen that. And it's just the way the world works, and it's devastating to watch someone who just fails because of bad luck. What can we do about that? I mean, that's a question that no one has ever answered in human history. But you can prepare yourself for luck, and it gives you the best chance to see when something is happening and to take advantage of it.
Thank you very much.